Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I'm back yet again with another video. Welcome to the channel. This channel is called Live Narc Free. It is about getting free and staying free away from the narcissist. And again, my name is Joy, and I am a narcissist abuse coach. And welcome. So today, you guys, is actually a different topic, and I actually did some research myself. So just a heads up, I'm still learning too. I don't know everything, as I always tell you guys. But today, and you guys, please feel free to share what you guys think on this topic and how maybe you have dealt with this and how you have handled this. I would love to hear your feedback and your experience. So I wanted to talk about hypervigilance and narcissistic abuse and how this can affect you if you are a victim and a survivor. My case, I definitely do feel like I do have PTSD, CPTSD, and suffering from hypervigilance. It's not as severe as it used to be when I was dealing with the narcissist, and even when I went no contact, it's not as bad, but I definitely do can still from time to time get triggered, especially if it's an environment where, there could be some toxic people and there's like a lot of stress, a lot of drama, a lot of chaos. Definitely could trigger that just based off of being a previous victim of narcissistic abuse. But first off, I wanted to talk about what is hypervigilance, and I wanted to make sure that I have it right. So I do want to just discuss it. And give this video a like, you guys, if you resonate with this or if you experience this. I would love to hear. But hypervigilance is a heightened state of arousal, stress, or sensitivity to certain sensory stimuli. It can cause intense emotional reactions, anxiety, and impulse patterns of behavior. It makes us feel alert of hidden dangers, a primal sense of threat, a feeling of treading around eggshells without knowing why. And I can definitely tell you guys, I have experienced this. And even if it's not necessarily me being in direct contact with the narcissist, it could be a loved one of mine that could be dealing with a narcissist, could trigger the hypervigilance, because I know there's a sense of threat that could be coming. So that can trigger you. So meaning, if you have a narcissistic parent, or if you have a narc in-law, you know what I mean? Or let's say you were dating a narcissist, all of this could trigger hypervigilance, because a lot of us victims and survivors, we have PTSD and suffer from CPTSD as well, especially if you're currently having trauma happen in your life over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And Kalam, hey, welcome. You said narcissists always return even when we put up strong boundaries. They can't ever let go of perfect supply. Correct. Yeah, they don't understand boundaries. The rules don't apply to them. They, in their mind, are the exception to the rule. And if you do try to put up boundaries, they don't respect it. Right. And so at that point, you have no other alternative but to go no contact with that person. Right. So yeah, that's what happens. But going back again, I do want to say another definition for you guys for hypervigilance. And again, the reason why I'm talking about this, you guys, again, I do feel like I've experienced this, and it definitely can have an impact on you, your relationships, and just, your mental health, your emotional health, your psychological health. But the other aspect of it is also, again, it's an elevated state of constantly assessing potential threats around you resulted from trauma, right? People who, so examples of people who may have hypervigilance is people that have been in combat, so like wars, survive abuse, PTSD, that kind of stuff. So Kalam, you said I blocked her off everywhere, but I fear her returning despite no contact. Sorry if I'm interrupting. No, you're fine. You're fine. No, please ask me questions. I want you to ask me questions, because it helps me, and I'm sure it could help someone else if they're watching. But no, you're fine. It's crazy because a lot of us, we do fear the narcissist, which we shouldn't. But some of us, we did love them. We did love them, but we just wasn't expecting to be treated that way, mistreated and abused and used and just left as if we meant nothing, like we were just an object like this pen and just, just discarded or thrown down on the ground and just left there. You know what I mean? So that can definitely get to you. But yeah, keep the block up, kill them, do what you need to do, which sounds like you're already doing that. But just try to know and expect that this person is going to try to get back in contact with you. They're going to try to do things and say things to get a reaction and get your attention. But what you really want to do is starve them of that narcissistic supply, because that's exactly what they're looking for. And you don't give them what you want, especially if you're not with them. Even if you are with them, once you find out that they're a narc, you definitely want to get out of Dodge. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're definitely going to return. So just keep that in mind, especially it's the holiday time too. So definitely keep that in mind. They're definitely going to be lurking, stalking, watching, trying to get that supply from you, because again, like you said, you were the perfect supply, all of us were, and then they found someone else, and then they're doing the same thing to them, abusing them, using them, putting them on a pedestal, doing the love bombing, and then they're devaluing them, mistreating them, abusing them, gaslighting them, giving them the silent treatment, then they're going to discard them. But the cycle continues over and over and over again. It never stops until us victims and survivors, we stop it, right? So yeah, and any other comments, Colum, please feel free to leave them for sure. And any questions that if any of you guys watch this, please feel free to ask. But yes, you guys, I did want to talk about some side effects though of hypervigilance. Could definitely, well, this is more the behavioral symptoms, could be, jumpy reflexes, knee-jerk reactions to your environment, overreacting, to your surroundings and other people, also overreacting to like a loud noise. Maybe there could be a lot of misunderstanding in your relationships. Maybe certain statements could come off as rude, but they may not be as rude. Maybe we're overthinking things a lot. Checking your surroundings. It's hard to focus on conversations, if you have PTSD or CPTSD after dealing with narcissistic abuse. You're easily startled. Now, in my case, you guys, I'm just naturally sensitive anyway. So if you can only imagine how narcissistic abuse has affected me, because I am HSP, so I'm highly sensitive person just in general. Then the aspect of the empath, where you are able to feel other people's feelings as if it's your own, but I'm, taking it on even more, being an HSP type of individual. So it was definitely a lot of, inner healing and work that I had to do and still working on now. But as I've always tell you guys, I'm not where I used to be, because if you guys watch my videos, I say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, even 7 years ago, when I first got on, you could probably look at me and tell me I just got out of a horrible relationship. And that was true, and even dealing with my aunt or living with her for 5 years, it was horrible. But luckily I was able to get out of that and, venture off and do my own thing and be independent of narcissistic abuse. Because if not, it could literally kill you. It literally can. And I'm sure you guys have heard cases of where, after getting out of a relationship with a narcissist, a lot of the victims, unfortunately, do commit suicide. And you don't want that to be you. So that's why you want to make sure you get that support, that guidance, and that help that you deserve, and that you need during that period of time. I don't recommend healing after narcissistic abuse on your own. It's not safe to do so, So Gary, you said the holiday times can also cause a reaction, especially if you're single. Try to limit social media use. Yes, that's a good idea and a great suggestion. I remember when I was single, and especially when I went no contact with the narc, it was a hard time for me. Luckily, I did have friends that were really, really my friends, because isn't it crazy? Like it just kind of came where these days it's hard to say like you have a friend, but I can say that I had friends that supported me and that understood my situation and that I could count on. Because if I didn't, besides the counselor that I had, I don't think that I would have been able to cope with this, But you definitely want to understand that the Hoover time is, at our hands here, and narcissists are looking for their supply, looking for a reaction, whether positive or negative, it doesn't matter. That's what they want. And if, let's say you're not dealing with a narcissist, let's just say you're single, and the holiday time is here. You could be feeling lonely. You could be feeling like, man, like I want to be with someone, I want to be in a relationship. I want to, give, and I want to receive and all that stuff. And, I think what you can do to help with that is understand there's a reason why you're single. And everybody's on their own journey, and everybody has inner healing work to do. And it's about divine timing, when you'll be in another relationship. Like that, I'm sure if you're single now, there's probably things that you have to work on, or lessons that you have to learn that you haven't learned yet. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why you're single. Or maybe it's just you could have gotten out of a relationship and it's time to heal. It's time to recover. And if you just jumped into another relationship, then that wouldn't be healthy for you, or it wouldn't be fair to that other person, because you're still stuck on the ex, you know what I mean? Or the previous person you were dating, you haven't given yourself enough time to heal, recover, and, move on from that particular experience, So don't take being single as a bad thing. Take it as a time where you're focused on yourself. You're getting yourself right for that person that you're going to meet. You have to focus on self-love. If you're single, you have to look after you. You have to take care of you, because you are important. You are, the most important person in this world. If you're watching this, you are the individual watching this, and when you have done that inner healing, or you've taken steps to do that inner work, you're going to meet someone on that same level, same vibration, because you're working on yourself. You're focused on your own life. You're working on your goals, your dreams. And then once you get on that vibration, you're going to meet someone else that's on that same level, and then it's going to work. But if you still have a lot of stuff you're working on, whether it's self-love and self-esteem and, learning your boundaries, finding out what you want to do with your life, you know what I mean? There could be things like codependencies and, childhood traumas and things that need to be worked through, So don't feel sad that you're single during the holidays. It's perfectly fine. Trust me. Because some people will be wishing like, man, I wish I was single. You know what I mean? So enjoy your singlehood while you can, because there's going to be a time in your life when you're not single. So appreciate that. And me being 32, I realize that now, but not, I love my boyfriend, but I'm just looking back at the time when I was single. I was like, okay, I see why I had to be single, because there were these things that I needed to work through, So I hope that is helpful. But the other thing is, Gary, though, try to limit social media, especially if you will feel that you're going to get triggered by seeing couples and happiness and all this type of stuff. Try to stay off of social media for, a couple of days, maybe the weekend or a week. It's up to you. And then come back when you are ready. And hi, CJ. How you doing? Welcome. Give this video a like, you guys, so other people can see it. Maybe it can help them. But I hope that was helpful, you all. And please ask me more questions. Please do. But don't be afraid to be single, you guys. There's nothing wrong with being single. Trust me, it's okay. Because you do have some relationships, unfortunately, where some people are in those relationships and they are not happy. They're not happy. They're miserable. It's like, you might as well be by yourself. Like, you know what I mean? But some people they can't be alone. And I will tell you this, narcissists cannot be alone. They can't. They have to be with somebody. They have to be abusing somebody. They have to be victimizing somebody. They need that. They need that. So, yeah. But yeah, you guys. So the other thing, though, I do want to talk about as far as the hypervigilance is what could trigger it. And that is, when you're not able to get enough sleep. A lot of anxiety maybe that you could be feeling due to your environment and your surroundings, which I think it's really important, especially if you get out of a traumatic situation or a toxic relationship, or this could also be family, you guys. This could be family causing hypervigilance in you, because you have the narc parents or you have the narc in-laws, right? And then people that suffer from schizophrenia could have hypervigilance too, right? And then also there's the thing of CPTSD, which I do think that I'm working through myself. A lot of victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse will more than likely have either PTSD or CPTSD. And basically the CPTSD is like you have the trauma happening. It's like over and over and over again. It's like complex post-traumatic stress disorder, right? So the trauma just keeps happening. One situation from the next, one, experience from the next. It just keeps happening over and over and over and over again. It's like you don't get a break from the trauma, So, yeah. But what I will say though, for those of you that are watching and you're wondering, let's say you are dealing with hypervigilance, what you can do to help yourself to cope, and this is actually things that I'm working through myself. You can, really try to be still and take slow, deep breaths is really good. You can also try to search for proof in the situation before reacting. I know this is something that I'm working through myself. Excuse me. Again, pause before reacting. Try not to react, which I know it's difficult because a lot of us were programmed to react versus respond, right? Acknowledge the fears and strong emotions, but don't give in to them, which again, I know it's a challenge. Be mindful, always set boundaries with yourself and others. And, always I recommend is to do therapy, counseling, or coaching with, someone that has experience in narcissistic abuse or trauma, PTSD, CPTSD, so that's what I recommend. And again, I wanted to talk about this, you guys, because as I said earlier, I do feel like I went through this and it's hard to admit. And it's even hard to even talk about because it's like, nobody wants to be like, oh yeah, I have hypervigilance, so it's a challenge. But for me, what I have been doing is really doing a lot of yoga, working through that. And then also doing meditation is really good. And just try to have environments where it's like low stress, like where it's not going to cause you anxiety. And just myself, as I said, because I'm HSP, so I'm naturally highly sensitive person. So like if I hear like a loud noise, it may startle me, but I try to remember that it's okay. It's not like, I'm in danger to a certain degree, but I will tell you guys this. I noticed like sometimes when I go out with my boyfriend, like I'm not going to lie, like I do look around because I'm always like, trying to check my surroundings, making sure I'm okay. Do any of you guys ever do that too? But I find myself just like, just trying to make sure everything's okay. And I think that does come from the PTSD, CPTSD after dealing with narcissistic abuse. And so I just have to be mindful of that and just kind of relax a little bit more, and then I also think, just having, narcissistic family members could definitely trigger the hypervigilance in me. So I guess for me, it's just avoiding those environments, so yeah. But CJ, hey, you said my narc called me acting like she had the wrong number. I'm like, yeah, right. 3 different times though. Oh my God, are you serious? When did she call, CJ? That's so crazy. Yeah, narcissists, they will do anything to get your attention. That's all they want is your attention. They want your supply. And it's good for you if you starve them of that. But they will do anything. They'll do anything to get a reaction out of you, right? If you don't react, then they're still probably gonna try because they never really leave you alone. But you just show them no reaction. That's all you got to do, And it's gonna make them angry, though. It's gonna make them angry. They're gonna want to try something to get you to react. But as long as you just stay the gray rock or don't react or don't respond to that Hoover attempt, you good. You got that, And CJ, you said last week. Oh wow. Man, have you tried changing your number, CJ? Are you able to do that? Because I know I myself did have to change my number and it did work. But the thing about it is, social media online, so the male narc that I told you guys I used to deal with, he looked on my LinkedIn page, so I know he probably watches these videos. Hey, it is what it is. And my aunt that I used to live with for 5 years, she doesn't have a social media. So I don't know if she's seen these videos. Maybe her sons have showed her. I don't know. I really don't care, but I'm just here to speak the truth. And that's all I do. So, CJ, you said, I thought you moved on. I just laughed. Yeah. No, they don't move on at all. And even if they do, they don't really truly move on, because that new supply that they're with, they don't really care about them. Just like they didn't care about you, they don't care about them. They're just using them, just like how they were using you. So yeah, it's so crazy, you guys. But yes, be mindful of that Hoover. Be mindful of it. It's on its way, or if maybe it's already came, it's probably going to come again. But don't think much of it. They're just playing with you. They're playing with your emotions, and they want to see if they can still get a reaction. I know that when I first went no contact with the narc that I dealt with, the male narc, he would have other people reach out to me. And I think he just wanted to see like if I was missing him or if I was feeling sad or down, because he wanted me to feel upset. Like he wanted to upset me. And he got great joy out of that. The same with my aunt. Even before I went no contact with her, I remember our last conversation and even our last gathering together, she was upset that I wasn't listening to her and her demands. I wasn't wanting to go along with what she wanted me to do, which I understand. Like, yeah, you're older than me. Yeah, you may have more experience, but at the same time, I got to live my life. You know what I mean? I got to experience. If there's things that I need to learn, let me learn those lessons. That's my life. It's not your life, And I just remember though, when I asked her to take me back home, it was like she was so proud of herself for what she had done, and I'm just like, to me, that's just so sick. Like, you're literally going out of your way to hurt somebody that's innocent. Like, whatever happened to you in your childhood has nothing to do with me. Don't take that out on me, So yeah, sometimes you just got to stand up to the bully. Sometimes you got to stand up to the abuser, And CJ, yes, Holiday Hoover. Yes, you guys, be careful. And I forgot to tell you. So the narcissist can hit you up. It can be Thanksgiving. It could be Christmas. It could be New Year's. It could also be Valentine's Day, right? So just be on the lookout. You might get a Hoover message, call, or text, email, anything. So the narc is definitely lurking, you guys. They're fishing. They're like a snake in the grass, just slithering, just waiting to bite you. Don't let them bite you. Dark and Lovely Femme, hello, blessed Sunday. Yes, blessings, you guys. Welcome. So, but yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today, you guys. If you're dealing with hypervigilance, understand that it's normal, especially if you've been traumatized or abused by a narcissist. It's normal. It's sad, but it's normal. But it will go away eventually. But you really do want to protect yourself and protect your family too, if you need to. If you have little ones, don't bring them in those toxic environments. If you know someone's a narcissist, don't bring your children around them. Please don't. You know what I mean? And then, if the parent is a narc, I know that's difficult because maybe you don't want that child to grow up without the parent, but you got to think about in the long term, is this going to help the child? And if you just need to have that narc parent in the life, or if they're showing like they want to take care of that child, will you be there to supervise that? Don't leave your child alone with a narcissist, you guys. They're going to like destroy them. They're going to turn that kid against you. That child's going to grow up to hate you, and you don't deserve that. So you really got to be careful with these narcissists. So, but yeah, that's all I have, you guys. If there are any topics that you guys want to learn about in regards to narcissists, narcissistic abuse, or even dating and relationships, as you guys see on my channel, I do have other topics that I talk about. Leave them below in this chat or underneath this video after it's over. And that way I can make a video about it, you know, so that way we can all learn, grow, heal, and recover, you know, because that's what it's all about. That's what this channel is all about. It's healing, moving on, bettering ourselves, being a better version of ourselves after dealing with such a horrific, traumatic experience, you know. And we deserve that, right? We all deserve to be happy, especially after dealing with this experience. I honestly, I wouldn't wish this on anyone, you know. So, but anyway, that's all I have, you guys. If you guys would like to get more information about, you know, any guidance, any advice, any support from me, you can visit my website at livenarcfree.com. I would love to support you guys in any way that I can. You can get a support session, or you can get coaching from me. You can get a reading from me. You can get a course from me. I know everybody learns differently. Or if you know anybody else that is dealing with narcissistic abuse, tell them about me, and I'll give you, you know, something that you can, it'll help you, and it'll help that other person that needs the assistance that's dealing with narc. So I'll probably even give you like a free session or a discount on if you decide to get any support from me. So it's a win-win for everybody, right? So, but anyway, I'm signing out, you guys. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll be back next Sunday, and we'll be talking about narc abuse again. And then CJ, you said, I swear your videos are a breath of fresh air. Good. I'm happy. I'm happy that this is helping you guys. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like where you guys can get support, feel heard, understood, appreciated. Because I know you guys, I didn't have that when I dealt with narc abuse. I mean, I felt like I was alone, you know, like I didn't have anybody saying like, you know, it's going to be okay. Like, you know, the narc is not, you know, they didn't have my best interest. They didn't have good intentions for me, you know, and you're going to be able to move on. Like, eventually I got it after years and years. I just wish that I would have had that support early on. I probably would have moved on a lot quicker, and I probably wouldn't have wasted as much time as I did, you know. But, you know, they say everything happened for a reason. So, but yes, Dark and Lovely, you're welcome. And CJ, good energy. Yes, same to you as well. But anyway, peace, you guys. I'm signing out until next time. Take care, and you guys have a safe holiday, and I'll probably talk to you guys again. But yes, be safe, you guys. Love you all. And yes, you're amazing. Thank you. You are too. You are too, Dark and Lovely fam. Share this video if it can help someone, you guys. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Love you all.